We got a very special guest in here today. Four-time All-Star with the Raptors out of USC, 2016 Olympic gold medalist, spent 3 seasons with the Spurs, just agreed to a sign and trade with the Bulls. We got DeMar DeRozan in the building. What's going on, brother? Compton legend.
Man, appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for having me, man.
What's happening? Remember all that, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Appreciate it.
But Compton High ain't there no more, right? What?
Yeah, man, they done tore my high school down, man. Hopefully they put something there, you know, that'll represent for sure.
You picked the Bulls. You had a ton of different options you could have went to. What was it about Chicago that got you excited?
The talent, obviously the city, great city. My whole career, I always try to look for a challenge. You know, the Bulls hasn't been winning the last couple years, and that's the organization. If you take off and win there, so much could come with that. You know, and the talent there. Always been a fan of Zach. I think he do in his league to show what he really could do. You know, he really hasn't had that opportunity. I want to be a part of that and see Lonzo Ball go there. I've been a fan of his since high school, growing up here in LA. And the talent in the court, obviously Vucevic, I played in college with him. It was just all there. And to me, it made the most sense to go there and kind of be that piece to kind of help and be a part of the chip of the shoulder. You know, all those guys got a chip on their shoulder. Me as well, and I just want to come there and kind of put that thing together and just try to take off.
When you're making that decision, what's the most important part of it? You know, because when I played, I didn't have a free agency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My rookie season, but that was just financial. They said I was going to be a star. They got the most money.
Yeah.
I'm going there. But, you know, my second year, you know, I signed back, and then from there it was just, you know, 1-year deals. Yeah. You know, so for the most part, I didn't have that pressure of sitting there in free agency trying to figure out. So I don't, you know, trying to figure out, what is that actual process?
This was the first time for me. You know, in all actuality, it was the first time for me. It was stressful as shit trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Just, you know, you want happiness, you want winning, you want good city, you want good weather. You know, all these things that come into play. You know, you want all those things, and you kind of just try to, you know, find an even keel with each one of those things. Mm-hmm. You know, I looked at the team, looked at the landscape of the team, and the capability, the belief in the players that I seen there. That was one. City, great city. It do get cold, but I was in Toronto for 9 years. I know what to expect when it comes to that. And somewhere I knew I could just go be myself around a basketball community. Mm-hmm. You know, growing up, obviously everybody was a fan. I know anything about the Bulls, that culture. Just want to be a part of that. And it was intriguing for me. You know, it was always easy to run and go, say, I'm going to come home and play. Mm-hmm. You know, they already established. They have what they have here already. You know what I mean? It's always been something big for me to go somewhere and make something happen here. You know what I mean? That's unexpected, where guys is underdogs. And once I looked at that, it was a no-brainer.
You and Zach, that's gonna be a crazy combo. You know, when you think about it, it's just gonna be what 2 and 3. I mean, you know how you try to figure out, man.
And that's exactly how I looked at it. You know what I mean? With such a question mark, with such a high ceiling. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you know, I knew as soon as I made that decision, it was gonna be to fit this. You know, the whole criticism that come with it, all the bullshit of people who say stuff that never played basketball. Mm-hmm. But for me, I looked at it as a dynamic challenge that could be something special, that definitely will be overlooked in the beginning, but it could turn into something that wasn't expected, you know, and that was how I sat back and looked at it, you know, especially for me, I always think of myself as a basketball fanatic. I watch everybody, you know what I mean, everybody, from the 15th man on the bench to the starters. That just been me my whole career, so watching him and seeing that opportunity be there. And just what you said, it was like me and Zach on the wing. How can this play out? Yeah. You know what I mean? And it becomes so intriguing to where it's like I couldn't turn down the opportunity.
Were those dudes recruiting you at all? Were you talking to Zach before? I mean, that's the kind of thing I always wonder leading up to free agency. It seems like guys, now obviously in college you're getting the letters and all that good stuff from coaches. but now it's more players. Nobody wants to be caught up in tampering and all that good stuff. So Zach hitting you up like, yo, man, you got to come through and do this. We could really do something special.
It really came from Vucevic.
Okay.
You know, that was my man, and for years, even when he was in Orlando, we always was trying to figure out, like, man, we need to play together. We need to play together. A lot of times it'd be like, you know, BS. Like, you know what I mean? But, you know, when the opportunity presented itself after he got traded to Chicago, we had a conversation during the season when we played them late in the season. It was like, look, you're a free agent. Let's see what we could do. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going to keep that on my radar. You know what I mean? As things transpired, you know, it just started making more and more sense. And having my conversation with Zach, and just everything else from there fell into place.
The funny thing about like summer talks with friends, right? We have the best trades ever. Like,
oh yeah.
Like if you let the players put their teams together, man, every dynasty.
Bro, like, but that's the beauty of it. Like, from our perspective, we know that. You know what I mean? And just like the opportunities of just making up a whole trade scenario and playing with guys, it'd be crazy.
Like
it's
crazy because it's like we've done talk to each other, convinced like, yo, hey, in the summer we gonna come.
Yeah.
You talk to the team and they're like, yeah, because I remember the LeBron situation where he's in Cleveland, right? And D Wade, he was like, yeah, you know, we on a boat together. We talking like, so everybody's thinking like the Wade's going to the Cavs, and it was like, yeah, we got Dunleavy before you.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like we done spent 11 days together thinking this is about to happen, y'all.
It happened. It's crazy. It's crazy. The amount of people I thought I was about to play with, it'd be crazy. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you have the same thing. Like if you just go down the list, like, yeah, we were supposed to play together. We talked about it. It's like it's crazy. It'd be an all-star game.
Yes.
Now you mentioned you had people talking about the squad, and I saw the same thing. This is the thing. I mean, I've seen it across the board. You know, when Russ came to the Lakers, same kind of situation. Like, oh, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna like you haven't even played a game yet. You know, looking at Lonzo, looking at LaVine, like what excites you the most about being able to play with those guys in that three-headed monster?
One, with Lonzo, he hasn't fully blossomed into his potential. You know, his IQ on the court is incredible. You know, him being a point guard general that he is, his tendencies on the floor is amazing, you know, and it's just been a rocky few years of him coming to the lead and now finally, you know, being compensated, knowing where you're going to be, somebody believing in you. Now you can kind of like feel free and really be yourself, you know. So with him being there, that opened it up. And like I said, with Zach, it's, you know, he just played on an Olympic team. I know the confidence you leave from an Olympic team, you know, after you play with, just being around those guys, what you carry over to that following season is incredible. You know, you have more of a winning mentality, work ethic. You know, you really want to get after it, you know, because you feel like you belong. And him being a part of that, knowing what that's like and carrying that over to the season, it's like, how can you beat that?
That was so funny is people don't really understand when you're on that Olympic team and you're playing against this group. Like I had the selfish mentality, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at LeBron, Melo, Bosh, Chris Paul, Joe Johnson, right? Dwight. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, I really get to test my talent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right? So I'm using that just to like, if you can't stop me, this season's easy. So when I got back, I'm on God mode.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking like, yo, I was giving them business out there. I wasn't playing. I don't even care about the playing.
It don't matter. That don't matter.
Yeah, they had to see me in practice. I was a villain in practice. And then that was when I came, because I just missed the free throw, so, you know, a little chitter-chatter about the free throws. So all that. So when I got back to the States, my confidence was just off the chain. I just felt invisible. Yeah. So my training stepped up. Like, it was just a whole thing. And I know how that feels because it happened.
And it's real. When I looked at it, and it just took me back when I was playing in Olympics. Like when my first 10 games, I was averaging damn near 40. You know what I mean? Afterwards. But it's just what you said. You're around these guys. Even if you don't play that much, you know. Like you just know in your mind, your mental, everything's just different. Your swag, just everything's completely different, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
So what's it like you just practicing in those situations, going up against those guys? Like, what kind of stuff are you taking away from dudes you're going up against?
Everything.
Okay.
Everything. You know what I mean? Even with me, it was a lot of times, you know, we have practice. We just be playing, and a lot of guys are, you know, work out after practice. And I used to just sit on the side. And I just used to watch, like, certain tendencies certain players did. You know, they work ethic, this, that. You know, you just find any miscellaneous anything you could take from it, and it carries over to where it's like, all right, well, we practiced for this long. He got tired at this point. All right, now I know fourth quarter, if we playing, I ain't gonna get tired because I know his go-to move when he gets tired. You know what I mean? Just so much that goes into it that you carry over. Yeah. Whether it's true or not, you believe it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So your confidence is out the roof. You know what I mean? So now it's like, ain't nobody stopping me. This is what I've been around 11 other best players in the world. Y'all was just sitting at home chilling. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Like, what's the funnest part of that experience for you? Like, off the court, hanging out with guys, like, just seeing their personalities, like that dynamic.
Yeah, probably just the trash talking. You know, you kind of get a different element of guys, you know, talking trash, and necessarily don't even got to be about basketball. You know what I mean? If you're playing cards, if, you know, you playing video games, you know, just kind of like, you know, you really get in a different element with guys that you normally don't see. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we always competing against each other, but you could realize, like, you know, like Gilbert funny as a mother, man. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, you see a different part of players that you kind of, you know, you understand, like, damn, this is really a journey, and like, that's gonna last a lifetime with these guys. You know what I mean? And that kind of stick with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's actually the longest, like, outside of basketball, when you, like, group up.
Yeah.
The Olympic team is the longest that you're actually around someone.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to All-Star games, it's a quick, it's in and out. But, you know, like, you in the Olympics, y'all traveling together, y'all practicing together, y'all chilling together at the hotel, y'all trying to find party to go to at night, whatever. So you really get a sense, like, you know what? You ain't as cocky as you look on TV, bro.
Yeah.
You're a goofball, right? You're fucking goofy. And then, you know, like, same thing with, like, Dwight. Like, bruh, you in Atlanta, you just want to dance all day. That's all you want to do, just sweat in the room, just dancing, bro. So you really get to know, like, who's who.
Yeah.
Like, you just understand, because it's more of a family feel now, instead of that rivalry where y'all just looking at each other sideways the whole time.
Yeah. Like
if you don't want to name names, you don't have to. But who's a guy who's like, big time, you know, player, but when they get into cars or video games, they're just getting smacked by everybody?
They getting smacked? Who is it? I mean, we had a lot of them.
We got a lot of them.
That's what I mean. You know, you one of the greatest basketball players in the world.
I know the worst person who can hold their hand, Melo.
Okay.
Melo's like a little kid when he get good cars, boy. He get the giggling and laughing.
You can tell with Melo. He ain't got the greatest poker face.
You can tell with Melo.
I mean, everybody, like, you know what I mean? It becomes more of a, you know, it just becomes more of a game. You know what I mean? Because you kind of let your guards down from hooping. You know what I mean? So you just see it. You know what I mean? Everybody comfortable to the point to where it's like, you know, like, I'm a jokester. I'm this. You just see it. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of it at the same time.
For sure.
Man, you get to see. That's what I said. You get to see the real.
Yeah.
You get to see the real person.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we're on that court, we're trying to show as less emotion as we possibly can. So we're gonna come off different. Yeah. You know, when we're just sitting there chilling, hanging out, you really get the sense of what the person's really like. Yeah. Like, so when people are like, man, that dude's cocky. Like, nah, that's just the TV thing. Yeah. He just got to do that for the TV. That's just like, he's real chill outside. You know, when them cameras come on, it's just that's what gets him going. But off the camera, that dude's chill.
Yeah. That's the wild thing. Obviously, winning that gold medal, where does that rank in terms of basketball accomplishments for you?
I mean, it's number one. I mean, I never in my life, like, growing up, I never thought, like, oh, I want to be a part of the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, you see the Olympics now on such a great scale because it's so publicized. But growing up, you know, the Olympics, you know, I wasn't 18 years old getting up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning trying to watch the Olympics. I didn't even have cable to even know what the Olympics is. The Olympics is such a prestige thing because it's out there now. You got social media. You see everybody that's iconic that go play in the Olympics and make a change in the world. So I never thought I'd be a part of the Olympics. So being able to have a gold medal in the Olympics, to this day I still don't believe it. You know what I mean? It's definitely an honor. It's probably one of the best times in my basketball career that I had, just being with guys. Like I remember being in the moment when we went to Rio, and we were sick because we had to stay on the boat. And I just got tired of feeling the boat rock every night, like even
was that really going on?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was
See,
like
I don't mess
you know
with
what I mean.
boats,
Like
man. I get
it was
seasick.
like it was just so much going on. But I remember as soon as we won, we walked away from it. It was like, damn, like that was the best time of my life. You know what I mean? Just being with guys, playing cards, talking trash. You know, just the whole nine. Like you know what I mean? It made it worth it. Like I do it all over again.
Just looking at this Olympics, this squad, they dropped a couple games early. I think Pop took a lot of heat for that. Just looking at it, your last 3 seasons with the Spurs with him, do you think he got a lot of unnecessary slander with this squad? Obviously, still end up winning gold. Was it a little too much going into it from fans and critics?
I mean, yeah, but one thing I know about Pop don't give a shit. long as you get the job done, he don't care. You know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, you need a little adversity. You know what I mean? Adversity gonna come, and all the people saying we was gonna lose, like come on now. It's just those guys know and understand the moment. You know?
We are the greatest. Like if
Yeah.
we want to go out and assemble a team to win by 50, we can.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore. Like we don't the dream team style, like you gotta remember the dream team took the 2 best players in every position and then added Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. You know, so it was a whole veteran team going out there just whooping on people. We don't do that anymore. We're trying to put a team that can really like hit it together quick.
Yeah.
So instead of the superstar saying, all right, you know what, I'm gonna be a role player for you guys, they're just gonna go find the role player.
Right.
And that's more of what we're doing instead of saying, all right, we're just gonna put the best 12 out there and then y'all figure out what it takes to win.
Yep.
Which great players do.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's sometimes people overthink that too. Like the great players, you just put them in. I don't give a shit if they all 6'5". They'll figure out who does what and then go from there.
You got guys from other countries talking shit to you in a language you don't understand. You taking that personal? You trying to figure out what these dudes are saying? Are you bothered by it, or does that rattle you at all?
No, because
Are you just cracking up like?
You gonna get it regardless. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like it's you just gonna make whatever you got coming worse for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You can talk all you want. It's just how bad you want this outcome to be. It's up to you. You know what I mean? So if you just be humble about it, just take this L and go on. But if you want to be cocky about it, you get your ass whooped. Now you gotta hear everybody talk shit. So you know, it's how
it don't change from talking trash on the court.
Yeah, like,
Well, because if I'm from another country and I'm playing y'all 2 gentlemen specifically, I'm not gonna say shit. I'm just hey. I might get a picture. I might
Nah, the cocky player gonna talk.
It's gonna be somebody.
It's gonna be somebody that talks trash.
A lot of time, a lot of players, it be players who don't talk shit. They'll do something to you in a cocky way. They'll come up to you, hit you. They'll do something to you.
I know.
That's their shit talking. You know what I mean?
So you averaged, career high in assists last year, almost 7 assists a game. Are you seeing yourself trying to take on more of like a point forward type role with this Bull squad, or how are you approaching this season?
I approach the season like every other season. Whatever the game needs from me, whatever my team needs from me, I'm gonna go out there and figure it out to help win games. I've never been a player saying I'm gonna go out and do this, because the game going, you gotta adjust to the game. You gotta understand and use your experiences when you go out there and be able to adapt what's needed. Sometimes it calls for spurts of me to be a scorer. Sometimes me be a playmaker. Sometimes me getting to the foul line, slow down the game. There's so many elements to the game that you just gotta be prepared for, and I think that's just where I'm at in my career, just understanding what's needed throughout the game. To try to get the win.
Yeah, I agree with that, because sometimes I went into my games saying I'm not gonna pass the ball.
Right, yeah.
I ain't passing today. Yeah. But the way they playing me is like, dang, I got 12 assists. I do not want 12 assists today.
You going now morning?
Oh yeah, no, all the time. All the time.
Right. I had those moments too. You know what I mean? It'd be like, man, I'm letting it ride. I don't care if I'm 8 for 29. I'm getting it off. You know what I mean? But as I got older, it's like, all right, I could go 8 for 12, give me about 15, 16 free throws, have an efficient night, and give me some assists here and here. You know what I mean? Like, you just start to manipulate the game as you get older. You know what I mean? But I for sure had to thought process.
So you know for your mid-range game, have you felt any pressure? Obviously, it's become a three-happy league.
No.
At whatsoever. Because I noticed the last 3 seasons, you shot way less threes than you did the previous 2 before
I'm
that.
going to be honest with you. Like, one thing I always hate, people always say, oh, I can't shoot threes. I choose not to shoot threes. It's a difference. You know what I mean? Like, I always felt like I could get to my spot, get to the rim, get fouled, or play make for somebody else. That's a three-point shooter. You know what I mean? If you're not stopping me doing what I'm best at, why should I revert to what everybody else is doing? You know what I mean? Like, that's just my basketball knowledge of understanding. Like, I'm gonna get to my spot. I'm gonna get my shot off. I'm this. Not to knock nobody who do it. It's a beautiful thing. Steph, Dame, everybody do it. But it's like, yo, I'm stop me what I'm doing first. Force me to shoot threes. You know what I mean? It's not that I can't do them. I choose not to do them because there's so much more to the game that I feel like I could do. You know what I mean?
See, and I think that's where analytics kind of like took its turn, and all the teams started saying like, all right, we need 35 threes, we need this, we like 35 threes. Who you got on your team?
Right.
Like who you got on your team that want to like so now like your percentage going back because you got this guy who gets to shoot threes like he Reggie Miller, but he ain't Reggie Miller.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was one of those things because we was a fast shooting team, right? So my thing was always like I remember coach would be like, hey, we need to do like, wait, hold on, we're in a penalty.
Yeah.
Right? We're in a penalty. I know you want the 2 for 1.
Yeah.
But he can't stop me from driving.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going.
Yep.
You know, so it's like 27 free throws, this and this. And I was like, if no one's going to stop you, don't stop yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Don't do like if he backs up to the free throw line for me to shoot it, like, no, I'm just going to drive to the free throw line. What you going to do now?
Yeah.
You going to play defense or you going to back up some more to the baseline so I can make this easy layup?
Yep.
But I guess we're so caught up in the highlight of it.
Yeah.
Shooting threes, 33s, 43s, that, you know, it became so normal instead of just saying, if someone can't stop you doing what you do, don't stop yourself.
Yeah, don't.
Don't stop yourself. But Rip Hamilton was like that.
Yeah.
Like Rip was mid-range all day.
Yes.
So everybody's like, he can't shoot threes.
Yeah.
No, he can shoot three. He just didn't want to shoot three. He didn't need to.
Yep. It just shows you how quick people get caught up in the narrative of the whole analytics thing. But you look at the playoffs, when people need a bucket, when shit is real.
But shit got real.
Can't nobody get to a spot to get, you know what I mean? You know, you look at a Kawhi that's great at what he do, especially late in the playoff. He get to his spots. You got to stop me from getting there. Even it was a game I was watching. Milwaukee was playing Phoenix. Book had, I think, almost 40. He didn't make 1 3. It's all mid-range. He was getting to his spots, everything. But, you know what I mean? It's like you got to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Especially in those situations late in the game because you just throwing up threes, you giving the other team opportunity to get out in transition. You know
what's so funny? If you look at the top tier guys, they all still shoot mid-range.
Yeah.
You just got Steph. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
But even with me, see, it's what they show on TV.
Yeah.
Like so everyone thought I was just this 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I hit game winners from the 3. Yeah, I shot threes, but I was a free throw. I was a bandit. I just drove. Like they had to change the rules because of me.
Yeah.
Like there was no jump straight up.
Yeah.
If you didn't get outside that dotted line, foul. So I wouldn't even go for free. I wouldn't even go for the layup. You see it, I'm just running right at. I'm just driving right at you.
Yep.
Free throw. Yeah. So they had to change the rule to say if a guy's inside, if he jumps straight up, then like so. I got to the free throw line. So when people talk about, oh, he scored 60, yeah, I shot 27 free throws.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I just drove, I posted up.
Yeah.
Like all small guards, I'm posting up. So now the two's on me. So now I can play one-on-one basketball for my 1 full flat. But because that's what they show on TV, that's what people thought I did.
Yeah, right.
So it's like when you look at it, like Kevin Durant still shoot mid-range, Kyrie still shoot like Devin Booker, Chris Paul, like everyone still actually
still
shoots
do it,
three
yeah.
people, but they don't want to show
They
it.
don't want to show it. It's crazy. So, but to answer your question, no, can't. No. Stop me with doing this first. But
Stop me doing this first.
stop it. Yeah.
And obviously, NBA instituting a bunch of new rule changes, you know, to help change the game. I'm a fan of that type of stuff. To be honest, I like watching guys like Trey Harden draw fouls, but I just, you know, I come from a different time where like, yo, if you don't want to get a foul call to you, then don't foul the dude.
Right.
Don't fall for the jump fake. What do you think about these new rules that the league is instituting?
I mean, it's just the game is evolving. I mean, I had the opportunity to play through I don't know how many changes at this point. You know what I mean? I played against Gibbs. You know what I mean? Like, the game has changed so much, and it's a credit to skill set, how smart players are, of just manipulating the game, figuring out different ways how to be creative offensively. It's just a different mindset. You know what I mean? Sometimes I get bored. I watch games from the '80s, and you would see. I used to wonder, like, how did Alex English get his shot off with this? With what? You know what I mean? Yeah. You go, you crazy.
Like, how'd you
know
get
what I
that
mean?
off?
Yeah. You look 10 years after that, you see a Michael Jordan being the one player that's just overly athletic, creative, doing crossover, doing moves that you don't see a Clyde Drexler doing. You know what I mean? And it's like, now you just have so many guys that's just so creative. Skill set is out the roof, athleticism, everything. You know what I mean? So it makes the game completely harder. You know what I mean? The way Steph shoot the threes, it's like, is they gonna move the 3-point line back? You know what I mean? It's like, that's just where the game is going, and it's evolving so much, and it's just credit to the players that's coming into the league.
See, I don't think anybody gives credit to players being smart.
Right, yeah.
You know, and I like, it's one of those things where, you know, all we have is time.
Yeah.
You know, this ain't the 80s and early 90s where, you know, everyone's trying to get to the club party, and you don't have the Dennis Rodman no more. You don't have those guys. Like, now guys make way too much money to actually even have that Dennis Rodman lifestyle. So all it is studying now.
It's all
trying to figure out how to get to the next contract and the next contract. So when you're looking at rules and you're getting the rule book and you're looking, all right, okay, so this is what they think this is what's illegal. He has to have his hands here. And you got the offensive guys manipulating from the rules they're giving. So the rules are going to always be behind.
Yeah.
The refs are going to always be behind because whatever move a player's working on right now, the first time they see it is in the game. So now, like, either they're going to accept it in the first 2-3 months, or they're going to call it in the first 2 months and then give it to you, like, later on. So all that's going to happen is they're going to try to be really strict in the first 2-3 months, and then it's back to normal because by the time that happened, we done adjusted to that new rule too.
I'm telling you.
They done adjusted to that new rule. So the players are faster. Like, whatever rule you are, you're going to have, look, okay, he can't do this. Oh, all right, we're going to, new rule.
Yeah.
You know, so it's they're behind.
It's always gonna be that way. It's like it's crazy because like, I just always think about, like, who was the first person that did like a crossover between the legs step back, like, you know what I mean? It's like that started from somewhere. Now you got
the park, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But that's where it all comes from. Guys just being in the gym trying something. You get creative with something. Now, when somebody do a new move, it's, you know, the refs and everybody scratching their head like, damn, I don't, is that a, you know, I'm gonna just call it a travel for now.
Just travel for
now. You know what I mean? But
I'm gonna just call it a travel for
but
now.
It's just, like you said, it's like guys is just so creative and smart, and we always gonna find a way to, around whatever, you know what I mean?
See, you know, we're different. Like, the mindsets are different from the past. So, like, if Michael Jordan was a guy who was looking at all the other players, trying to figure out, now you have a whole league full of that.
Yeah.
Right? So if you have a whole league full of guys who are trying to outsmart each other in the youth. Yeah. So what happens is you do a move, boom, boom, naturally. It's just a natural reaction move. And then the generation behind them will see it, mimic it, add their 2 little cents to it, their 3 little cents, so that by the time this kid gets to the NBA, he's a whole nother player. Just from this one move of a player. So like if you look at somebody like LeBron, right? And this kind of hurts like somebody who's in the zone of their own game and they are not paying attention, that like if you notice he still can't do the simple right left. No, he can't do the left right Euro step. He can do the right left, but when he's on this side and he tries to do that one, he wants to come back so he usually travels because it wasn't in his, when he was perfecting his skill, he wasn't paying attention to, Ginobili and them coming in with the Euro step, and then now the athletic kids coming in with the Euro with the dunk, like he just now it's side steps with the Euro, and you're sitting here like. Yeah. Like I've never done a Euro in a game. Yeah. And so when it came in, I just didn't know how to like bring it out. Like I used to practice floaters and never did a floater. I did one floater, air ball, never did it again.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Like cause that's when the little guards is coming in and they ain't throwing that up. Like, man, I need to put that in my game. Yeah. Like you know what I mean? I need to put that in. I need to get this little Joe Johnson this little Tony Parker it'll save me from getting my body hit all the time. And I just it's like, man, I'm just gonna get to that rim today.
Yeah, it's crazy that you just like. I remember like Gil was the first one when he said the game winners do this shit. Mm-hmm. Now you got everybody taking it to a whole nother level, shooting it, turning all the way around. You know what I mean?
Clapping hands and shit.
But it's like that's how creative these kids is. You sit and watch. You gonna sit and watch your favorite player and want to do that's how I was. I grew up watching Kobe. I want to do everything Kobe did. Mm-hmm. So I'm working on post ups and footwork and all that. That was where I started from. You know what I mean? It'd be different if I said, I want to be Allen Iverson. You know what I mean? Now I'm working on the right to left crossover. But it's the game is so accessible to the younger generation now than we ever had. Mm-hmm. So it gives them more of a creative mind to go out there and just be free and try something.
Today is actually the 10th anniversary of when we're taping this episode of Kobe's Drew League game. Mm-hmm. You played in that game. What do you remember from that day, just that summer, just how crazy it was, how turned it was? I mean, for me, I got a call from my dad. He was like, yo, come through, the Drew, Kobe's about to come. I'm a big LeBron guy, so I'm like, I look back on that shit, I want to slap myself. Yeah. But I ended up bringing the camera up there, filmed a bunch of stuff, got the game winner, even had Kobe on the sideline. You did like a 360 in the game. Yeah. He was on the bench talking to Chris Young, the Ghetto Bird, literally just singing your praises like DeMar shit. He go to the penthouse, literally. Yeah. Like, what do you remember from that day playing in the Drew?
I think it was like a last minute call, getting guys together, because it was like a random day. Say Cole wanted to hoop, so all the guys that was in LA, for some reason, I think we all just got a call saying we gonna play today. Cole gonna come play. So we was like, all right, I don't know how this is gonna work. We at the little gym at the park or whatever. Yeah. So they was like, get there earlier. So we all there. So Cole come, and everybody going crazy. I'm talking, it was thousands of people even waiting outside that couldn't get in. And I just remember us going out there playing and him walking on the floor saying, he said something crazy. He always be talking shit crazy. And he said something, but he was like, man, y'all better come to play. So everybody came, like we put out there hoop, James, me, like we were just going at it. I remember a lot of us saying we was gonna take turns guarding him. And you could just tell he was, I don't know if he stretched in the car on the way there because he just walked on the court. He didn't do nothing, like got straight to it. So we hooping, and it was a close game. I remember, I think they got footage of it. they was trying to make him leave early.
Yeah,
before
I got
the
that.
game. Yeah.
Cops go up to him
Yeah.
like, cause y'all were up at like 8 with like a minute and a half or something.
Yeah.
It was something with like, yo, this shit's over.
Yeah, we was up, and they was trying to get Kobe to leave, and he was like, "Nah, I'm finishing the game," and he ends up in the game winner, right? And he just stood in the middle of the floor, and it was just like you can't make this up, you know what I mean? And it wasn't like we was trying to give him the game or we were just trying to make it. Like it was like a real life game. Like it felt like you was playing in Staples Center, you know what I mean? But it was one of those moments when you look around and you see like we smack dab in the hood. You know what I mean? Like we in the hood. Like everybody in here is from the hood. You know what I mean? So for him to hit the game winner, stand in the middle of the court, like everybody run up to him, it was like one of the craziest moments in the Drew League. You know what I mean? It was dope. I think, was that the lockout year?
Yeah, that was a lockout.
year.
It was wild though. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
interviewing people for the game and like, yo, you here to see Kobe? Like, no, we here to see Casper Ware. Like, we ain't tripping.
Yeah,
On.
so
It was just like, what?
I think we only knew Colt was coming to play. I thought everybody else knew, but we just knew. You know what I mean? So everybody didn't know. So when he came, it was like a shock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but it was one of those games that it was definitely crazy.
And when you look at obviously where the Drew League was at then, because I grew up in LA, and back in the day, the Joe Weekly Run Shoot and Dunk League, that was like the league. My pops played in Reggie Theus, big name guys. They kind of had a negative view of the Drew League, but obviously Joe Weekly Track League passed away, the league kind of went away, and the Drew moved to the forefront. When you look at the Drew League now, 2021, 10 years later, just what do you think about that league and what it just says for LA hoops culture?
Man, I started playing Drew when I was 15. We played at middle school. It was 3 benches in there. Hot ass middle school gym. It didn't have breakaway rims, none of that. It was just middle school. So see it go from there to go to Washington Park. Everybody come there and play. I think Bron came there to play, Kobe. It was a lot of guys who came through there to play. Then some from the lockout year just took it to a whole nother level. And you see guys like come through there, NBA players, and you see their confidence get taken away from somebody from Watts. You know what I mean? And you look up here and be like, oh yeah, this ain't nothing to play with. You know what I mean? And it's like it becomes such a ritual because for me, obviously being from LA, being a part of it, you know, you see the guys competing against NBA players that probably never made it and take it serious. And you see NBA players come in there and try to bullshit around and all that and get their ass handed to them. You know what I mean? So it becomes a whole respect thing that I'm glad to be a part of. And at the same time, you get to see the community who never get to see these players play. You know what I mean? You got kids in here, you see them up close. This is even better than NBA seats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like being at an arena, like shit, you being a kid, you sitting there, you just see it. You know what I mean? And like that's the beauty of it for me, just being able to give back that motivation and inspiration to the younger generation just to be confident on making it out, seeing this up close in person.
You see, it works in a few cities.
Yeah.
It works in LA, the DC area, and Chicago because that's the hub of where all the athletes are coming from. So when you have, playing in the Drew since, you're 15, when you make it to the NBA, you're going to come back to show them what you can do, right? So it's one of those things. Then you got somebody there who's like, nah, I can bust it. Yeah. Like, because I remember I went there and I'm sitting there bullshitting, like in the warm-up line. And then some just told me to look around and I seen just Frank Nitti just looking like, I'm about to get. So I'm like, oh, nah, you ain't about to do this to me. Yeah. I've been down this road, and I'm like, oh, he's a go guy. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I gotta come at him real hard. Yeah. So like, if you ask him, I'm on like one of his hardest matchups. Yeah. Because I was like, I'm trying to score 70 on this dude. Because I can just see it in his eyes on the other side. He got that. Ooh, nah, you ain't about to just embarrass me, bro.
You don't want to be back. That shit lasts now. What you do now, it lasts.
I think about Denzel Valentine a couple years ago. And
that's what I'm saying. It's like
that clip's still getting played.
I was at that game and I watched that game, and it's like, yo, this would have happened. You know what I mean? Like this would have happened, and he not the only one. You know, he happened to plenty. You know.
Yeah, I did get dunked on by somebody in the Drew League, like real bad. But I told him, I said, hey, bro, listen, you just got different levels than I do, bro. I was on the first floor.
Yeah,
I was on the first floor. I don't know what level you went.
Yep.
She was like, he like that, just move.
Yep.
Like,
that's crazy. Yeah.
It was nothing I was going. I didn't actually think you can jump like that, but now I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't, and that'd be the crazy thing. You don't know, if you're not from here, you don't know a lot of them game. You don't know if this person can play or what, or if they just somebody that just came from their 9 to 5 or what. Like, a lot of these really be
going. Like, I remember, like, when I started, like, really, like, saying, dang, like you really can't judge a book by its cover. It was Zach LaVine. Mm-hmm. I went to the UCLA Arizona game, right? Here. And I remember he's in the layup line. And then I remember him because he's like, oh shit, that's Gilbert Arenas, right? Like I'm sitting, and then he's playing in the game, right? Shooting fast. I'm like, man, he kind of fast, he can shoot. All right. So there was like, oh man, it was like draft comes up, they was talking about a kid. It's like, man, did you see that kid workout from UCLA? He can jump out the gym. And I was like, oh, the bow-legged dude, number 4. And it was
Norm.
Yeah, it was like, no. The LaVine guy. LaVine guy? No, I said, no, he's bow-legged. That's like, nah, he's light-skinned. UCLA light-skinned? What do you mean jump? It's like, nah, you got to see his workout, right? Yeah. So I'm looking at his workout. It was like, did that kid jump like this? So I had to call like, yo, hey, you want a light-skinned dude? Like, he could jump? I was like, I don't know. So I had to send him. And I was like, nah, he ain't doing that. It was like, because he didn't show any athleticism.
Yep.
He didn't show no athleticism. He just run, shoot, score. I'm like,
it's crazy.
I was like, man, he would have caught me bad.
Yeah, bad. Especially what he got. He got a different flow. For real.
The last thing I got to hit you on, man, crazy story. You mind your business in the crib. You hear some noises going on, and it's literally an intruder who I guess mistaked your house for Kylie Jenner's crib. Like, what's going through your head? Obviously, I know you grew up in Compton. You've seen all types of shit in your life, but you're a grown man now. You in the league. You living good. You got out of that kind of situation. What's going through your head? You see just a random dude chilling in your crib.
So I didn't see him. So I don't think I even told the story, but I was in my basement getting a tattoo. The lights in the house go off. Like, everything go black. So I'm like, must have been a power outage or something. So everything started coming back on. TV started coming back on. Lights started coming back on. So my kids was upstairs. So I called my daughter, make sure she was all right. I'm like, y'all good? It's like, yeah, we good. I'll take a shower, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm finished getting tatted. So stuff still coming on in the house. Like, you hear the clock come on. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I hear something like open. Like, it was like something, like a sensor go off. So I'm just thinking everything come back on. So finishing tattoo. Probably like 10 minutes later, I hear my daughter scream. So I'm like, what the f? So I stop, I run upstairs. Dude running down the other stairs. So I'm going after him. He go back out through the door, running, taking off. So at this point, once he get outside, I'm like, damn, I could catch him, but I ain't gonna catch him because I don't know if it's somebody else in the house. Mm-hmm. Left my kids in the house, so I go back in the house. I'm searching around the house. I tell them go in the basement because I was like, I know nobody else was in the basement. Go in the basement, tattoo dude. I'm searching around the house like I'm Rambo and that. You know what I mean? But it was crazy because dude hit the circuit box. That's why the lights went off in the house.
Wow.
So the lights went off because he went on the side of the house, hit the lights off. And I was just like, it was just one of those things to where it was like, yo, if he would have finished my tattoo 2 minutes earlier, you know what I mean? I would have had him, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it was just crazy, and I was just more mad, like, damn, like you this crazy, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, just like my mom said, it's like, I'm glad I didn't catch him because who knows what would have happened after that, you know what I mean? And the crazy thing, he leaves. So I had all my cousins come to the house. I got like half a Compton in my house, right?
How long is it from that? You put
It
the bar cut
probably,
off?
it probably like, and they stay far, and I stay way out. They probably was at my house like 25 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
So they everybody at my house. So I'm like, man, ain't no way I'm about to be able to sleep. This dude out here, I'm looking at the video. I got the video and him, and all this shit. I'm like, man, they ain't catching him. I'm contemplating like, I'm just about to put this shit on Instagram. Like, if y'all see him, you know what I mean? Like, cause I was hot. So a couple hours later, go by, I get a call saying they catch the dude trying to come back into the neighborhood, telling the front gate he was going to Kylie's house. Same dude.
Same dude.
Same dude. Couple hours later, try to come back, bro. I say, yo, these like people is crazy. Like people crazy. Like you must have a death wish or something. Like, you doing this, but it was one of those moments like this shit ain't never happened in Compton. This shit happened like you move away from everything.
You move away from everything
and
for
this
the
shit, you know what I mean? But it for sure was a crazy.
That's different.
It was
though,
crazy.
yeah.
It was crazy. Crazy.
What's so funny is I be in my house thinking somebody's. I just stay in the room.
Yeah.
Nigga, lock all the door. I ain't.
Bro, like, yeah, you got to.
You just don't know. That's the thing.
No
man.
Rambo
You
for
never
me.
know.
I'm locking the door. Like
It's crazy. It's
I turn the lights off and on. Like turn the push button. Yeah, on off. Like run.
bro. It's
Because there be
crazy.
sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and my front door is wide open.
Really?
So I'll be like, dang, did I lock it? Then the kids didn't lock the door. Were they outside? Like I be just like, man, somebody probably just sleeping in this somehow.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
See?
That'd be like my worst fear that I just
bro.
somebody else sitting there with me and I just
Didn't know it.
No, for sure.
Yeah, for real.
you be hearing creaks like
Wherever I'm at, hotel,
I'm
whatever,
going
I
on
hear
outside.
them creaks. I'm
Man,
like,
it's
yo.
crazy. I got a funny story. So after that happened, it was before this past season. So I'm in San Antonio. I'm there by myself. I'm hearing shit in the middle of the night. Like, it sound like dressers closing, right? Like somebody going through stuff. So I'm like, what the is this? I know ain't nobody here, right? Two nights later, same thing. Sound like somebody in here. So I'm like, man, what the I need a gun, all this shit in here, right? Come to find out, it was raccoons opening and closing. It was raccoons upstairs going through shit, coming through the attic, going through shit, bro.
For
I said,
real?
man, what the
oh my God, that would freak me out.
that was the shit scared me more
Yeah,
than
that would freak
anything.
me out.
Like, come on, man.
Hope you don't do none of that in Chicago,
Yeah,
man. We wish you all the best this season. We appreciate you coming through and stopping by on No Chill with Gilbert Arenas, and best of luck this season.